Legacy, Part 9. Today is September 7th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of every game that we've played since the start of this channel, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can gain access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. And the easiest way to ask us those questions is to just go to our Discord, which you can find the link to in the description of this video, audio cast, or even Twitch stream below. Or if you are watching live on Twitch, hey, it's over there in the side chat. You should click it and check it out. And if not, well, we regularly also post links to the stream or links to the Discord throughout the stream. So just be on the lookout for it. If you already support us on Patreon, YouTube, audio casts, what have you, all you got to do then is go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. We have t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, throw pillows, crop tops, journals. Now we even have face masks in the glorious, I found it, in the glorious chromatic colors of Tiamat that you can wear on your face. So not only are you keeping yourself safe while going outside, but you're also rocking a super cool design that was done up by our very own Cyberwolf1201. So thank you, Cyber, for that there Tiamat design. But that is it for my spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'll be playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'm playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Hi! I'm Cyber. I play Arjhan, the Draconian Fighter. He, him.
And I'm Wings, and I'm playing as Cori, the Eldrin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, you guys had just gotten done going through a gauntlet of hags, making your way to what looked to be just the house itself, the Manor of Moon's Tear, with the Grandmother Matron Alira making her way out in what seemed like a rather abrupt move. It was as she was making her way out that she handed you all the key to the manor, effectively gifting you this teleporting house that'll more or less unlocked fast travel for you all, which you then proceeded to make quick use of, going between, I think, 3 different locations in a matter of like an hour last week. Philip, our very own Spice Bottom, was also there last week, and it was during this time that he and Gwen decided to rekindle their friendship, oink, before Philip ended up going on his way after having described his interaction with the spawn of Caius, the black worm folk that had chased after him through the woods into the Manor of Moon's Tear previously. It was at that point that you decided to leave Philip, I believe in Silt Creek, correct? And then you decided to go back to the Grove of the Hermit with the Hermit Hadorai. It was at that point that Cori decided to check on her Corvid skull to see what direction winter was pointing, only to find out that there was no clear direction, unlike all of her other seasons. And that is where we are going to pick up, is now that Cori knows her season's not going, you have arrived at Hadorai's place, and the Hermit is making his way out of his broken down cathedral or citadel, and just, how did you get this? Is this new? Did you have this before? Are you holding out on me? Like, looking at this house that has magically manifested itself next to the tree that grew out of Cori's arm.
Hi, Hadorai. No, we just kind of came into it.
This is amazing.
Inherited it.
Starlight.
Column A, column B.
Coerced a little old lady into giving it to us.
It was a gift, actually. She was moving
Yeah,
out.
guys, Jesus.
I'm not going to judge you for how you came across this house, but It is rather fascinating. Why? So, were you able to rescue your friend? I'm assuming you were,
yeah.
otherwise you probably wouldn't have come back here.
For the most part, yeah.
All doing well? You would assume...
We need your help again.
Oh.
I was hoping to copy down contact other plane, and I do have a few questions for you.
Well, of course. You are so inclined to do so. Who am I to stand in the way of progress? Now, come, you all... Well, actually, you have a house. You can come and join if you like, but I feel like you might have better food in there than I have in here.
Then by all means, come inside.
Don't mind if I do. And he approaches your traveling house with an air of readiness.
This is definitely a good idea.
And when he arrives in, he sees that all of the shoes have been, what shoes can, have been taken off at the front, and he just also, like, kicks off, he has to, like, pull off his boots. He doesn't have, like, heel slippers kind of thing. And then he is just looking around, like, running his hand against the wall, and you hear him just mutter, fascinating.
Gideon, this is Haterai. He's cool.
Haterai, confirmed. That's new. Very neat. Is it alive? He kind of like pokes the wall, and you hear a, please stop that.
Is Gideon alive?
Sentient-ish.
Huh. It does have a name.
Tea, cookies. I think we have some left over from our last visitor.
Okay. So, Caelum, in order to transfer the Contact Other Plane spell, it is going to take you 10 hours and 250 gold pieces worth of materials in order to put it into your spellbook.
You got it. I should make those rolls to edit it, huh?
And then editing will also take an additional 5 hours.
15 hours?
Yep.
So what are you supposed to do in this time? Just like fucking get drunk?
You can if you want. I'm not going to stop you. It's your house.
Cool. I wasn't really asking you. Turns to the friends.
If you'd like to, go ahead. I need to keep a clear mind.
Okay. Is there something you want to talk about?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to do a lot of thinking, planning. I haven't talked to the Raven Queen since the first time.
Question. Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Since her skull has stopped working, we need to get in contact with the Raven Queen and find out why.
Are you saying this loud enough for Haterai to hear?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
She's not hiding anything.
He just has like a very like kind of look on his face, just squinched up.
Not a fan of the Raven Queen.
Not a fan of most gods, actually. Why?
Dude, Tempest is the fucking best.
I'll look into it. Why would you want to talk to her? She's... Can you? What would you ask?
It's a bit of a long story.
He's busy.
Yeah, she'll sit down and explain everything. Not that different to you, actually. Your heart beats once per minute, and I am dying.
But that's still... You're dying, so you want to speak to her and win her favor?
I need my seasons. She took them from me.
So That's why the tree was there. Okay. Putting the pieces together.
That being said, how familiar are you with what happened to the Raven Queen?
Well, it wasn't exactly at the forefront of my studies, but it is something that I have at least looked at, researched a bit of.
Would someone with enough power and influence be able to reverse it?
Yes. What kind of reversal are you meaning? Like stripping the powers of a god away? That's some dangerous talk right there.
If necessary.
I haven't looked into it myself. If there was, perhaps the answer lay in the plane of negative energy.
Right.
That was what Nightfeather was looking for. Otherwise, divinity is tied to your pantheons and your domains. To remove the powers from a deity would be to reshuffle those domains out to others. Typically, when a younger god, such as the Raven Queen, appears, gods don't like to share, and those powers, those domains come from others, from other places. So if you wanted to remove that divinity, you would have to find a vessel to move it to.
I see. Would removing her divinity leave a power vacuum? Other gods?
Which is solved by the shuffling of domains.
I see.
That's how you make sure there's no power vacuum. Now, if a god decides that they want to be more than their domains, as well, it's been written in older times that some deities did do this, then, well, that's when you start getting a little... things start getting a little dangerous on a divine spectrum. It most of the time will bleed over to our realm. As, well, they don't typically like to fight each other, but will leave it to their servants, their champions, whoever, to do the actual fighting for them. There are some occasions, some exceptions to that rule. Tempest, for example, he prefers to just do the punching himself. He enjoys that. Whereas others, such as, well, Mistra or other gods of magic, they like to have their champions do it because it shows how powerful their beliefs are.
There are no shortage of gods that will leave the dirty work to the mortals.
Ones that rule by loyalty prefer the champions, ones that rule by fear prefer to do it themselves.
I got kicked in the chest by Tempest. It was fucking sweet.
What was that like? How did that happen?
Oh, it was the highlight of my entire life.
Like, did he, appear in front of you and then proceed to boot into your chest? Was it a dream? Was it a vision? Do you have any residue? Do you still have the clothes that you were wearing when a god kicked you?
I only have one set of clothes, and I think it was in my mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
I should get some more clothes.
Headcanon that in Gwen's dreams, from that moment forward, she's just got a giant boot print on her front.
Oh, yeah.
So, when you kill a god, you don't then take their place?
You don't take their place, but you would take their portfolio. So
Yeah,
say,
domain under.
Yes. So, for example, if you were to kill Tempest...
God, don't say that. He didn't mean
Example.
it. I would never.
He's not listening.
He could be.
So if
Now
you
who's
kill the god,
paranoid?
so if you kill the god of nightmares,
Then that portfolio, that domain of nightmares would have to go to someone else. Typically, the person who then kills them.
Gwen, are you a nightmare goddess?
Did I not kill him?
You killed a nightmare god? What, are you a nightmare goddess?
I don't think so.
Have
Would
you
I
felt
feel
any-
different?
Yes. Now, are you capable of, like, manifesting nightmares around you?
Yes, but not magically.
She just tends to be your worst nightmare.
Oh, that's cheeky, but no, not magically inclined.
Fuck! I've been telling everyone I killed him. Ugh. It was a chick?
What are Dindar's pronouns?
Dendar's pronouns are they, them.
Whoops.
Because they manifest as either or.
Oh.
You saying I killed him, they appeared as a physical manifestation as a dude. So you, from Gwen's perspective, it was a him.
I read on the wiki it was a her, but your lore.
Have you seen his Raven Queen? It's different.
We have seen that Raven Queen, and I'm scared.
And I'm gonna post that Raven Queen in our art chat. So hey, all you followers, if you join us on Discord, we got a really cool piece done by our friend Jake.
Which might be a spoiler for this episode.
Possibly. Possibly.
We shall see.
Choose your character.
Not that one.
Sorry.
So, I'm going to make an assumption. You didn't kill the god of nightmares because you are not able to have like a divine interaction with nightmares. And if you are, please don't hold out. It'd be really cool to talk to somebody who could do that for reasons.
Are you having nightmares?
What? No. No, I just think it would be really, like, it would... Not every day do you find yourself in the company of somebody who says, oh, by the way, I'm the god of nightmares. It'd be a really interesting take.
Well, now I'm sad. I'm gonna go sit outside and play my flute.
Oh, Haterai, while I still have you, may I see your grimoire?
You would have the grimoire near you. That's where the contact other planes is in.
Haterai, while I still have you, I have a quick question. When you were going through the grimoire, was there any locations that Nightfeather had stated in there? Some sort of laboratory or office?
Not that I am overly familiar with. Most of the time, he was just referring to his home. I'm not exactly sure where that is. If I had the ability to scry, I might be able to find something out relating to it, but that's a little outside of my wheelhouse. And also, to be fair, I've never really thought about it too hard.
In his writing, did he mean to go to the plane of negative energy, or was that a miscalculation?
He took the precautions to seal his hunter into that book right there. And points at the grimoire. I am going to assume that if he was making precautions for things coming out from the plane of negative energy, that it was on purpose that he was making his way in. Now, whether or not he was successful after he made it to that plane, that's where things get tricky. Even if he was able to find out what he was searching for, well, your existence proves that he wasn't long-lived in his success.
Okay. I was thinking if we were able to if he did have a lab or someplace that he called a home base, if we could triangulate it, the research there would be invaluable.
I can try to track that down for you.
You can, just, it's not a priority right now.
All right. And, well, if you don't mind me asking, other than what you're doing with my tome, what is a priority for you people?
Well, right now we found out in 8 days, 6 days, the Feywild is going to freeze over thanks to winter taking the entirety of the seasons. So it's a hop, skip, and a jump off to the Feywild.
In 6 days, winter reaches spring shores.
Winter takes summer,
Winter takes summer
and then we'll have some time still before reaching spring.
before it reaches spring. Okay.
Yes. It is not
Summer
a full...
will fall in
Yep.
6 days.
Yes.
That.
Does that match up with the calendar actually? Out of character?
You would know that it would be.
Okay.
So fascinating, really. So you're also...
It's what I've been working on my whole career. It's why I came to the natural plane.
Magnum opus. Excellent. Well, hopefully you are successful. Otherwise, just spitballing it out there. What happens if you aren't successful in this?
Well, the entirety of the Feywild will be taken over by winter, and it will likely seep into the natural plane. And, oof, that would be a shit show, because the natural plane is already dealing with the Dark Star.
I'm sorry, the what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have we not told you about the Dark Star?
I don't believe so.
Alira has been infected with a swarm of nothing. The worm that walks. We recently received its name. Does the Caius mean anything to you?
And at that, Hadorai stiffens a little bit. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But he's real. You have proof that this Caius exists.
Of course. That's, well, our friend Philip had to deal with him.
Who? Did he... Is
The
Philip
person we
like
went
a
to go
god
rescue.
person?
No, he's dreadfully mundane.
And he defeated this Caius?
No.
Got
He
eaten
faced-
by Caius.
Philip faced down one of its minions. Jinx
Spawn.
me soda.
What's a soda?
But Caius is influencing the material world, Alira, the continent we're on, by tiny black worms that get their way into dying bodies and reanimating them. There's a gestation period in which they show no signs, but once the incubation phase is over, what?
I have a theory that the worms will infect even the living.
Fascinating. There was...
So, yes, that is also bad, but slightly less time sensitive.
To the north of Vascor, back when I was still in good standing with the university, I took a small trip to the northern cliffsides. There were petroglyphs that showed what looked like a powerful wizard of sort that was turning people into what I assumed were snakes, but now that you say worms, that makes more sense. Snakes are usually longer in cave drawings. You're saying that it's currently a problem.
Yes.
Well, the infection is a problem. The Dark Star, which I think is also Kais, is being held back by the Maidens on the Moon. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cori.
Elistray.
Say maidens on the moon?
We've had a very fun year.
I am loving every minute of this.
The Earth is round.
Shut up.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
This changes everything. That kind of talk would get you kicked out of the university. And let me tell you, as somebody who has been kicked out of the university, it's good.
I was never really good in my studies anyway.
It's good to know.
Petroglyphs. You're talking about petroglyphs.
Yes, petroglyphs. They depicted what appeared to be a wizard on top of a mountain or something. I don't really know. There was no... Looking at it, there was no identifiable mountains in the vicinity. But based on what I saw, he once, whether or not he has become this thing in the sky, would allude to perhaps a terrestrial domain of before this happened, while this was happening.
So what you're saying is that Night Feather's study is not the only one we should be looking for?
Perhaps not.
I'll put it on the list, I suppose.
You know, that list was very short before all of this.
Keeping lists? That's excellent. Well done. Gold stars all around.
Well, we couldn't fit everything onto the plate, so we had to put it all on a list.
Why are we keeping it on a plate before? It's a terrible form of inscription. You only have so much
It's
surface area.
It's an idiom, Haterai.
I get it. No, I don't.
You know, when you have a lot on your plate and you...
Oh! Now I get it! Alright, so...
If you put too much on your plate, it's hard to keep it spinning.
Caelum, you got 15 hours in total.
Uh-huh.
Are you just gonna sit there for 15? Or are you going
no
to
one's
do...
gonna stop them.
We can't make that time not progress whenever we're in the house.
That is correct. You do not have that power. Alira did because she was an archfey.
Oof. Alright. If it has to be done, it has to be done. 15 hours would leave us with 6 or 7 days left.
You are currently on the 3rd of Huereth.
Okay.
You know that the 11th of Huereth is the bad day. So 15 hours into the current 8 days that you have until then. It is the middle of the day on day 8. Or on the first of 8, depending on how you're, like, if you're counting down or counting up.
Okay. Alright.
Well, wouldn't it be... Because I'm altering the spell and I can have the time it takes to alter it, so...
You have to
12
have
hours?
it in your spell book.
So that's 10, and then altering it would take another...
Altering it would be typically another 10 hours, but
So I
then
have to have
cut
5.
down to 5, so that's why 15. And then
Okay.
a total of 375 gold pieces worth of materials.
Okay.
During those 15 hours, Cori mostly spends on her feet. She will spend time just kind of like poring over maps, pacing, every now and then like maybe grabbing a book off of a shelf, and then flipping through it briefly, putting it back. She'll spend a little time with Gwen, and like familiarize her with the Feywild, considering that we are planning on going to the Feywild soon. So she tells her about the Isles, tells her about all the different seasons and like what makes them themselves. She will spend a lot of time thinking and preparing, I think. At some point, she'll approach Arjhan. What would Arjhan be doing during all of this time?
So half of his time would be filing paperwork. I think he's checking in on Bridget, the Abishai who was working on the mechanical dragon. Not expecting a response, but hey, we might need this to blow up some black worms. So, yeah. If so, just like a general timeline, just like, hey, how's it going? When's this going to be done? When can I have this?
The response that you get is, how big are these worms? How many are these worms? Are the worms resistant to anything?
I would say an ungodly size, an ungodly amount, but it's entirely the opposite.
She'll respond, we'll make something that destroys both.
Any timeline on that?
Your ETA is looking at this point, a couple months.
Okay.
Thankfully, you guys, with the help of Catastrophe Stonemantle, were able to find a really sweet weapon that, with Kat's help, is currently being implemented in R&D. So you do have a weapon that is suited for completely obliterating souls. Who would have thought?
The other thing that he would be doing is essentially, like, I know that we're about to dive pretty deep into winter. So Arjhan is essentially he's meditating on two different aspects, red and white. The Red Queen and the White Queen. Let's just go down the rabbit hole. Or through the looking glass.
Okay.
For this metaphor. So he's probably just meditating whenever you walk in. But there is a stack of paperwork on the floor next to him.
Okay. I think that Cori will like walk in, see that you're meditating, and then walk back out, and then walk back in again, as though she like second guessed herself. And she'll say,
"No, you can interrupt."
I was wondering if we could talk for just a minute.
Of course.
She'll come and sit opposite him. We never really talked about the sword that Aras gave me. You remember back at the tower, the Shadow Dragon?
Yes.
You're very smart, and I assume you've probably figured it out by now, but he did
give you a weapon that was specifically designed to kill me.
Yes. I wanted you to know, you have never given me a reason not to trust you. And you have always been my friend. and I only would have used it if I had to. I don't know what's going to happen when I talk to the Raven Queen. And I just hope that you would do the same for me.
The look on Arjhan's face tells you very quickly that he did not even consider that. And that shock goes away, and he just nods very seriously.
Cori just like nods affirmatively, and she stands up to leave. And just before going out the door, she'll cross the room in a few steps and just throw her arm around Arjhan.
He'll return it both times.
Thank you. And she'll pat him and leave. And then she's going to go to her room, and she's going to open the book with the Raven Queen's name in it and learn it.
Cool. Cool. So as you open up this book and look inside, you see that there is ink on these pages, but it moves like a liquid. It is not just a set text that you can see in this book. And as you hold it up, you actually see that it kind of shifts and slinks along the page. And it's not in any kind of discernible writing. And as you tilt the page again, you see that this ink just sort of washes over and leaves these really intricate trails, but there's nothing in Common, Elvish, Sylvan. There is no set name like Tammy, like written in really big letters on the inside of this book, where you can easily discern the name of the Raven Queen. Instead, you see that there is a note, and this note is actually in Elvish, and it says, "Seek the king of the deep root in the lands of the Gilskari. His mind alone is sharp enough to decipher the text."
My gods. The land of Gilskari?
Yes. The
How is
land
that
of the
spelled?
Gilskari. GILSCARII.
Okay.
And you know that the land of the Gilskari is the Gilskaran Woods to the south on the continent, where you guys actually just came from.
Okay. Great. Stay dumb, Cori. She is going... When you contact other plane, you don't take your belongings with you, correct?
Nope. You are literally just popping your brain into this place to ask a couple of good questions for a minute, and then it goes away.
It said, "Seek the king." Can you give me the exact text of that?
Yeah, I can just copy paste it to you. But once more for the audience, it is "Seek the king of the deep root in the lands of the Gilskari. His mind alone is sharp enough to decipher the text." And Cori, judging by the handwriting that you see, you're fairly confident that Shar wrote this note. Like, it's almost like it was written in a jelly pen, but the jelly pen style was just night sky.
I think that she snaps the book shut, and the like when she's in her room, like it's different every time. It's a different memory and everything. And this time, I want to say that she was in the cave where she first talked to Shar. I guess it wasn't a cave; it was a clearing. She'll have been in a cave where she has talked to Shar in the past, and she'll just say, "Didn't occur to you to tell me that I couldn't learn it?"
Just saying that out and about.
Yeah.
Okay. And you hear a chuckle. I never said that you couldn't learn it. You can. It's just not going to be easy.
She will stand up and leave the room. She's not going to engage further with Shar. She's going to go and learn as much as she can about the Gilskari in the time that she has left.
Okay, make a history check. At disadvantage, because you're not from this plane.
Cool.
You think of us hear that?
No, because Cori was in her room.
15.
A 15. Disadvantage?
Oh, at disadvantage, you're right. Sorry. Working on my listening skills. Still a 15.
Okay. So Cori's listening skills have proven successful. So you've actually met a Gilskaran elf before. That's crazy! Her name was Marissa. She ended up being the steel singer that you met in Arask the first time.
Right. She made my armor.
Yeah, she made your armor.
Right.
She had very like foresty facial markings, with some tattoos that came up on the lower part of her jaw that looked like they extended down her chest, a kind of like black band across her eyes as well, short hair. And you know that from what she had explained is that she just wanted to work at a job that paid her better and that she could get more respect in, because there's not really use for people who work with metals out in the wood. So she had eventually made her way to the Isle of Arask to open up shop. And then the other bit of note that you would have about the Gilskari is that you know that Ren from the Dragon Cults books was also described as being a member of the Gilskari.
Oh. And Ren's a dude?
Yes. From what you had read in the book, Ren was indeed a male.
Okay. There's a lot of pacing and muttering from Cori.
Okay. And this is all during the first day that you guys are back. Gwen.
Gwen's gonna talk to Chua,
Okay.
and just let her know that we're probably gonna be doing some planar travel, so some bullshit might happen.
Okay.
You're in charge while I'm gone. She already is.
Yeah.
But
She'll thank you. And then she also lets you know it's beginning.
oh my god, how many?
Currently there are a few prematures, because you know, like they're at the 8-month cycle, so they still need a little bit of care. But there are a handful of Goliaths that have currently been born after your chieftain's inaugural festival. Wink. And we're gonna use festival with like heavy quotes.
Yeah. I'm so excited. You have to tell me all their names, who they're for, from, with.
And she will nod and say, That is more Barda's department, but I will do my best to see if we can get those written down for you.
Okay, thanks. All the babies.
She
Poor
smiles.
Sigourney. You've got more brood mothers, right? Not brood mothers. Tent mothers.
For the zerglings that just spawned.
You require more overlords.
The Liefling rush. Let's do this.
Listen, if you 12 hatch and then go into a Zergling rush, then
All right, so, yeah, Chua has informed you that the great birthing has begun.
Yes! They're gonna be called the boomers.
Amazing. All right, so, that was what Gwen was doing. Cori, you were realizing things about the book that you have been carrying with you. And then had your speech with Shar, talked to Arjhan, who is working on papers, getting things set up. He is a business owner. You know, his signature has been important on a lot of things that just haven't been able to get signed yet, but working on it. A lot of a lot of confirmation, I would feel, for working on the Dragon Tower, which one of the documents that you end up getting is Kendek asking basically permission from corporate if he can rename the tower.
To what?
The Dragon Forge.
Oh, that's hot. Yeah.
Stamped, signed, sealed, delivered. So, from here on out, the Tower of the Claw will be known as the Dragon Forge. And then, Caelum, you are spending the next solid 15 hours hanging out with Hadorai, transferring notes into this book, because he's not leaving his grimoire.
yeah.
All right,
Coffee's had.
sweet.
idle
Make
chatter.
a charisma check,
Oh.
because you are idly chatting with a dude who loves to ramble.
5.
It is going to take you at least 3 additional hours. Because
I think he contributes to that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
by the way, Hadorai, has anyone ever successfully used the Weave and Shadow Weave in conjunction, or is that just a bastardization of magic itself?
Well, do you consider divine magic and arcane magic being used in tandem to be a bastardization in magic? It's really all the same. They're just 2 different sources. If you have water in 2 different glasses, one red and one blue, is the contents not still just water?
The quill stops moving as Caelum starts thinking. I don't think Saloon or Mistra would appreciate it, though.
I don't think so either, but the way that you were talking about this makes me believe that you were on a first-name basis with these deities. What's that like? What's that about? Are they nice?
Weird. Yeah. I still have to have tea with Mistra at some point.
You just generally drink tea with the gods? That sounds like a dangerous time. They will trick you. You should check that tea every time that you drink. They might be putting like hallucinogens or something in it.
I mean,
Affect your
Saloon is the
mind.
good mom, according to Mistra. It's just...
And who are
We
you
get up to
going to
some shit.
believe? Everyone has their own perspective about stories that they're telling. Mistra might be saying that this is the good mom, but what if she has like one of those syndromes going on where she's been trapped by Saloon for so long that the other goddess is actually the good one? We could never know. We could absolutely never know. Why? Because you're drinking tea with them and not looking at things like the bigger picture here.
Char mortally wounded Saloon in a battle, thus spawning Mistra.
Yeah, and who's the one telling that, Saloon? Maybe it wasn't a mortal wound. Maybe she's just exaggerating.
Furiously writing.
And Hadorai is just still like drinking the tea that you set out. It is very cold now. It has lost all warmth, but he just doesn't seem to mind.
Cori is like flipping through a book in the corner, and then she like her eyes wide, and she slowly shuts the book, puts it back on the shelf, and walks out.
All right, so then the rest of you are sleeping, meditating, while Caelum just works tirelessly through the night.
Same as usual then.
All right, sounds good. So on to the next day. Breakfast is had, I am assuming, by your group. You seem to have like an unlimited supply of food stores while inside of the Manor of Moon's tier. You're not sure what would happen. Actually, you're resting at this point, and I feel like if anyone, Gwen would try and take some food outside, or like Cybra gets a hold of a sausage link and then like runs around a little bit while you're like trying to chase after her. And she bolts out the door, and then as soon as she passes the threshold, you see that long sausage link just turn to a wisp. And then Cybra, like, jaws clamp down, no longer on the food, and she just, like, it's the raccoon who just put the cotton candy in the bowl. Like, Cybra's like, the fuck? Like, my food's though.
Sniffing around on the ground, trying to find out where she dropped it.
Blessed baby. I get her another sausage link.
If you throw it outside the house, it just disappears.
No. Jeez, I'm not cruel.
Mouth open.
Bless.
Mother, why? When
It's like
Skill
when
is-
dogs try to go through the door, like, you know, like there's a screen door there, and they think that when it's open, they think it's still shut, but it's real. My God. Sorry, continue.
Caelum will, with his shield, approach Arjhan and ask if he could put it in the bag of holding.
Yep.
Thank you. Gideon, can you bring everyone to the kitchen for a team meeting, please?
You all receive a notifying ding dong.
A body has been found.
Stop.
Not this arc.
Hey, Gideon,
Guess.
can you curse?
Who needs cursed?
Oh, can you swear? Like, say bad words?
Are you legally allowed to say fuck?
Yeah.
I can, if that is what you all wish.
Yeah. Could you tell Caelum to fuck off? And then wait like 10 seconds and then say, just kidding, Gwen's on her way?
Caelum, you hear. Fuck off. 1,
What?
2,
What?
3,
What?
4,
Gideon is
5, 6.
He's going to
7.
dimension door out the house.
They're now in an empty room. 8, 9, 10. Haha, just kidding. It's Gwen.
Oh, Gwen comes downstairs and she's like, where's Caelum?
It seems as though Caelum has exited the premises.
Walks to the door, looks out. What are you doing?
Gideon said fuck off and started counting down.
Did he really? No, that was me. I told him to do it. Oh my god. I wish I would have seen that. That would have been hilarious. Oh, I have to do that to Arjhan.
As someone who's had a countdown used on them as a form of punishment, please do not do that.
Well, I didn't tell him to... I'm sorry. I didn't tell him to count. Maybe I did tell him to count. But I meant to, like, wait 10 seconds. I'm sorry, Caelum.
It's fine. Are you okay, Danae?
Every moment with you two is just a goddamn emotional roller coaster. I can't handle it.
We were here, then we were here, then we were here again. Arjhan, you have heard a ruckus from downstairs, including Gwen's just cackling laughter.
Arjhan just shows up, sipping like a little paper coffee cup.
What's up, bud?
Everything okay down here?
Peachy.
Yep. Hey, you didn't have any forms of punishment that involve counting, right?
Depends on what you mean by that.
All right. Noted. She slides back in like she's thinking about something.
Gideon, please ignore all requests from Gwen to mess with me.
Noted, Resident Caelum.
If anything, please forward it back to Gwen.
Noted, Resident Caelum.
Thank you, Gideon.
Thank you.
Everyone gathered in the kitchen.
Cori's already in the living space, just poring over the map. It's a globe, right? Because the world's round.
Yeah. If you guys want it to be a globe, it's your magical house that manifests objects for you.
I imagine it was originally flat, and then we changed it. She's like using a compass on it and like walking it across it and in several different directions and just kind of pondering. But she's there.
Right. So I finished copying and altering the spell. I just couldn't mitigate the repercussions in case there was a failure in the ritual. So there's that.
Repercussions. Does Arjhan know the repercussions? And if so, can you please remind me?
Make an Arcana
Mild
check.
insanity. Oh, good.
Arjhan, make an Arcana check. Just to see if you know them offhand.
5.
5? No, you don't know them. Caelum does them.
Mild insanity. It lasts like a day at most.
We don't have that many days, but continue.
Well, if we want to find this last season, it's the longest shot we got, but it's a shot. I can take you along, Cori.
What are the dangers?
Mild insanity.
Yes, but
I don't think in those forms she would be able to affect us in any way that mattered, at least. Contacting other planes is a shit show, just like what we're doing.
well, in my experience, traveling to other planes is a shit show. Everything we do is just kind of a show.
I need to
What
get better
is-
shows.
Yeah.
What is your plan?
Well, you're the one with the questions.
Right.
Just in case either of us don't make it, but the other does, we should probably strategize on what questions to ask. We only have a minute window to converse with her.
That's fair. I need to know where my winter season is.
Right.
That is what we are doing this for.
We'll ask her if she has the winter season or if she's placed it somewhere else.
If I make it and you don't, is there something you want me to ask her?
I was going to ask her if she remembered a person by the name Nightfeather. See if that doesn't stir up anything in her.
I see. We have nothing to negotiate with. if she wants Amaris, we can't give her.
From my understanding of the spell, they have to answer yes, no, or if the answer's too vague, a short phrase. So I think we have the upper hand here.
All right.
Let's do this.
Let's.
Hadorai will speak up and say, do they have to answer truthfully, though? I don't think is part of the stipulation. They are required to answer yes, but whether or not it helps if you're in good standing with them.
From the Raven Queen we know, that's also a flip of the coin.
Even a lie can be useful if you know it's a lie.
Well, best of luck on that one. If you don't mind, could I watch? Just in case anything ends up like going bad. You know, you want somebody who's trained to really be there, just in case.
Yes, speaking of that, do you have any spells that can get rid of insanity?
Oh, good heavens, no. I'm not a cleric.
Great.
Well, if it comes to it, there's some silk rope in my bag.
All right.
You want me to hog tie you?
If I was
Caleb,
gonna-
you should have just asked.
If I were going to do anything harmful to any of you.
True. I don't know. We've killed you once. We could probably do it again.
But he's
I'm coming
That was
off
a
of-
joke. That was a joke.
Just saying, I'm coming off of a veritable mindfuck myself, so... No use beating around the bush. And Caelum will hold his hand out to Cori.
She takes it.
all right. And as you go to cast the spell, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. We're going to find out what the results of that their intelligence save is going to be when we return in 10 to 15 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Stay dumb, Cori! And then we're back.
Steven!
Ah!
I have a very important question for you.
Sure, what is it?
Small, medium, or large?
Medium.
She'll be right back.
I don't know
In the
what-
meantime,
It's a medium-sized cat! Yay!
Do you have another answer?
Large.
Okay.
Not large. Large with an O.
What? Call me after.
It really comes
Just
in
Rocco.
extra large.
It's Krieger! Yay! He's a big chunk. What a good
And just
cat.
in case you wanted.
Yay! No!
He's so small.
Ozymandias!
His name is Ozzy.
Yes, it is.
What a sweet little baby.
He says, "Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair."
Yes.
Oh, soft blinks.
Also, now that we are coming back from break, I would like to say, hey everybody, make sure to send our dear friend Bonus Stage Rob some support. He is currently on a plane getting the fuck out of this country. So, like, congratulations, Rob. You're making the smart choice. Yay! I want you to come back so we can be in the same time zone, but, like, stay safe out there.
Yeah.
It's all right. Leave me. It's the Harry and the Hendersons. Go! Get out of here! We don't love you anymore. That's a lie. We love you, Rob. So,
A lot.
our elves have joined hands and are going to adventure into a lovely ceremony via a contact other plane. So, hey, Cori and Caelum, roll me those intelligence saves and let's see where we go from here.
All right. I have an important question. Black or white?
Cori,
Black.
yeah, black.
Yeah, I thought so.
25.
22.
All right, you are both fine. The number that you are looking to beat is 15.
Yeah.
So,
It was just under 50-50 for me, so I didn't know what to expect.
So, the two of you are standing in your kitchen, holding hands, surrounded by friends, and both of your eyes just glaze over white. And to the rest of your friends, they just see you standing, unmoving. But for the two of you, you feel your consciousnesses being rocketed. And then there is a dimness, a blackness. And then as you feel your senses readjusting, you see that you are surrounded by what look to be figurines stacked meticulously along shelves in a small room. There seems to be mounds of what looked like just almost garbage debris that are kind of placed intermittently. And Cori, what you can see from your vantage point is the back of a form, a creature that seems to have these large feathers kind of coming up from the top, that is facing towards what looks like a large blue screen. Cori, you would recognize this to be the Raven Queen. Caelum, you, however, have never seen this creature before and have only heard the descriptions that Coriander has given you. And as you kind of like gain steadfast, you look down and you realize that your consciousness has been placed into a small figurine of what looks like you. And you hear a pause from this large figure, and then in resting. And Caelum, you see this figure kind of like shift, and it looks like they are visually just like shifting in their place, caught between what looks like a standard, well, not standard, but more of a regal feminine form, and then this large figure. And as one, you see them just kind of shift as a quarter turn, and then they are facing you directly. And Caelum, you see a rather large looking raven's nest that has been interwoven with hair the color of autumn, and a set of immaculate teeth at the bottom that the rest of the face just seems to be overcast with a darkness from this actual bird's cowl. There are long emaciated fingers, and it looks like the clothing that this form wears is more of like a warped burlap that seems to be form-fitting against their chest, and they look towards where the two of you are, and they extend a hand out towards you, and then as they do, their form shifts again, and then they are right in front of you. And you see she makes a circle, starting from a top point with both of her hands, and then a come hither motion with her two fingers. And you feel your consciousnesses being drawn as she obtains these two figures of you. And then just looks at you, and being up this close, she has a wide smile on her face. And Cori, you hear a dun dun well, and you see her grip tighten on the base of Caelum's figure.
What do you mean?
And she smiles again. You see she smiles. The child. That is one question that you have asked out of 5.
Cori,
Cori gives Caelum kind of a fearful look. As I think that both of them realize what she means by that. She looks to Caelum and says, "You need to leave."
I can't until the spell is over.
She'll look to the Raven Queen and say, the Corvid skull stopped working. Where is my winter season?
And she replies, "It never stopped. Look to your past."
Is it in the Feywild?
And her response is irrelevant.
Somewhere there on the material, then.
Why do you want Caelum?
And they respond again. The Ahild. Lost, now found. And she sort of twists the Caelum figure. Soon they will come.
Cori looks to Caelum one last time, and then she looks back to the Raven Queen and says, "Do you remember Nightfeather?"
And there is a pause. And you see, and you can feel in her grasp that her hands begin to shake. And you watch as her form flickers between this very queenly figure and then this monstrous form. And from the queen's visage, you can see her eyes kind of darting back and forth. And then with a look of remorse, it looks like she is about to say something. And then she shifts back into the monster and says, irrelevant.
That's 5 questions.
That is. And with that, she begins to laugh. And this laughter is shrill and sounds like the flapping of wings in its cadence. Just very breathy, very frequent, and like it is coming from more than one audio source on this individual. And she begins to squeeze the figure of you in her palm. And as she does, your vision dissipates. And the both of you are sent back. Meanwhile, on the material plane, Gwen, you and Arjhan are watching your elf friends just trance together. Hadorai is has a notebook out. He just seems to be waving his hand in front of their eyes. Little poke here and there. And he is actually in the process of doing the same hand over the eyes to Cori when the two of your consciousnesses return back to your bodies. So Cori, you just have this figure going like this in front of your face.
She slaps it out of her face. She stands there for a second, and then she stands up and she runs over to the map. "We have got to leave. They're coming."
What? Who?
She is fiddling with the map to get it to move them to someplace else. Fucking Hotter Eyes coming along for the ride. Good luck, buddy. Remember the last time when I talked to the Raven Queen, we thought that the child was Caelum.
Yeah, I thought we decided it was Amaris.
It's not! She doesn't even know about Amaris. The child is Caelum.
I was right! And Harurai is like super happy in the background.
Cori gives him a brief withering glare.
Oh, right,
And
sorry.
goes back to working on the map.
What, so what what?
She wanted Caelum all along.
And now she knows exactly what, doesn't she always know exactly? She's a god. Aren't we on a demi-plane? Can't she not get here?
Whatever just happened, I think she accepted it as me handing Caelum over.
Did you say you were?
No!
Well, where are we gonna go?
Anywhere but here.
Let's go to the Goliath camp.
Okay, for now. But we need to keep moving.
Okay.
She'll lock in the Goliath camp and send us there.
And Harurai is just like looking out the window. Then all of a sudden things begin to shift and change. It's just very interesting.
There wasn't anything important that you left behind, was there?
A lot of my research.
Nothing that's going to end the world if we're not there.
No, the book's with me.
Okay.
Caelum walks over to Arjhan,
Can I go
asks
back?
for his shield back. Walks up to his room and locks the door.
Okay, Cori, explain
She-
what just happened.
In as much detail as you possibly can, please.
Stop.
She does so. She explains how they appeared in the Raven Queen's presence, how they were figurines, and how she seemed to recognize Caelum and called him the child. She explains what questions she asked and what the answers were. Caelum's the child. She wanted him all along.
Okay, but do we know why?
She's going to look at Harurai.
And Harurai just... I don't know why you're looking at me. This isn't something that I don't do the gods thing.
Yes, of course you don't do the gods thing, but you deal with the negative plane
That's true.
and the Shadowfell. You know about Nightfeather.
Just because I know about Nightfeather doesn't mean that I know much about the Shadowfell. They're different places.
Have we, like, as a group, figured out that Caelum is the reincarnation of Shadowfeather, or Nightfeather? God. Shadowfeather.
Shadowfax.
Ooh, who is he?
Who is he?
Who is he?
But do we know that or not?
Caelum, would you have told your party about this? You're muted, so I can't really hear you.
I believe there was an entire tea table conversation about it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was open information. At the very least, the letter that Nightfeather left to his beloved, we have all been exposed to, and thusly conversed
Surmise the
over.
nature of which.
Yeah. His past life was Nightfeather,
Yes.
the
Which-
Raven Queen.
Outstanding, by the way.
Wants him for that reason. Because he's so outstanding. We thought that she wanted Amaris because she knew about her daughter, but...
I'm sorry, what? Repeat that
I
last
should
one.
have asked her if she knew about Amaris.
I feel like it's good that you didn't ask her about Amaris.
Can I ask about Amaris?
No. Don't write that down. Keep that out of every note.
No promises.
Or what are you afraid just happened?
She said that they're coming. Remember when she sent ravens to steal our memories? She might be doing the same for Caelum.
All right, cool. Well, if that's gonna happen, then yeah, going to the Goliaths is the best. I mean, we have a fucking army to protect him.
Wait, I thought specifically we figured out that the ravens that was stealing memories were not connected to the Raven Queen, or at least not doing it on her whims.
Ravens. Memories.
The Raven Queen accepts memories as offerings. Memories of her followers. As a Shadowkai, you are by default considered one of her followers. Shadowkai do not get to keep the memories of their past lives. As for the ravens, they're mischievous. They will steal things of their own merit. But they are also her messengers and her minions.
Do you think she wants memories, or do you think she wants him?
I think that she can have any memories that she wishes.
Not all
I think
of
she's
them.
after him.
I think we can debate this as we continue to run away from this problem, which I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I think it's possible that that if she does want Caelum, she's not looking for Caelum's memories. She's looking for night feathers. And we know Caelum doesn't have those memories.
If Caelum doesn't have those memories, then it means that she does. Doesn't it?
Does it?
He was in the negative plane when he died. Would that change things? Hadorai, do you think Caelum would be safe if we took him to the Feywild?
Didn't you say that the Feywild had this whole, like, winter approaching thing? Like, relative safe from the Raven Queen, maybe, but, like, ultimately still in danger.
Yes.
So that's a maybe. Maybe it's just good.
Maybe it's a start.
Maybe we can solve one problem with another.
In other words.
Let's take Caelum and shove him over there.
Oh, God. Gwen. Can you
Yes.
talk to Caelum?
Yes.
He was obviously upset by what just happened.
Uh-huh.
We need to make sure that he's not doing anything rash.
Oh, we left him alone? Jeez. Gwen, like, runs upstairs.
The first thing anything remotely like this happened, he jumped out a window.
There.
Somebody go check on the boy.
Speaking of which, the boy went up to his room. Caelum, what's going on?
He closes the door, locks it. Gideon, engage privacy mode.
Privacy mode engaged for resident Caelum.
Do you have a security setting?
Many.
Maximum security on my room.
Maximum security engaged.
Could this be overridden by the administrator?
Yes.
I know it might be asking for a lot, but could you, for at least 10 minutes, ignore administrative protocol?
Ignoring administrative protocol.
Thank you. He goes into his bag and he pulls out his spell book. Saloon, are you there?
There is a sound of scritching. Make a religion check.
Plus 24.
Okay. The response back that you get is, I am always here.
We spoke to the Raven Queen today.
Oh.
She doesn't want Amaris, from what I can tell. She didn't even know she existed. She wants me. I don't think I can protect Amaris if I'm the target of a deity. I need answers, and you may be able to provide them, you may not. I just need to know.
What questions?
Do you remember anyone by the name of Nightfeather? They were a arcane user like myself. They studied under Brother Groon.
A brilliant magister who gave everything.
Was he Mistress Magister, or was it the...
He was.
Alright. In your knowledge of anything magical for Shadow Kai, our past lives are locked away, or at least... Are they still there in us? Are they findable?
Everything can be learned with enough research. But do you want to unlock these memories? For
We
that
saw
is
her.
a door that cannot be shut once it is opened.
We saw her for a moment before she turned back to whatever she has turned into. She was in pain. I don't think in good conscience I could let that go.
And what would you do?
See if Nightfeather has anything worth using. Try and piece back together this broken Raven Queen. I know we use the word a lot, but if we restore her to her rightful mind, will that... Well, no, that wouldn't cause a power vacuum. It would just slide to the next person in the death portfolio or dying portfolio. I can't let it stand that everyone's going to be in danger because of me. Again.
And do you feel finding these memories would alleviate the danger?
There's only really one way to find out.
Make a religion check once more.
19?
Okay. You see a note that appears in Mistress handwriting underneath saloons. And it says, "Then find him."
Nightfeather?
And both sets of inks underline Nightfeather. One has a yes that is also written next to it. And you recognize that as Mistress. It seems she's more casual in her annotation than her mother is.
Winky face. Thank you. He's going to press his head against the spellbook, sit down, and start trancing.
Okay. Gwen, you've realized that Caelum has currently run off to be by himself. You rushing up to his room?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna pound on that door. And well, I'm gonna try the handle first, and then I'm gonna pound on the door. I'm just like, get in, let me the fuck in.
I can't let you do that, Gwen. Make a wisdom
Why?
save. Gwen,
What?
make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save? Oh, Lord in heaven. Am I the only one that's got? Oh, okay. Wisdom is +0. Am I being frightened?
Nope.
Okay. 8.
You are magically put to sleep.
You guys hear Gwen yell and then just a thud.
Gideon, what did you do?
As per resident Caelum's request, we have engaged in full security mode for resident Caelum's room.
Can this keep back a god?
We're getting raided.
Yay! Thank you, We're Fangirl, for the raid!
You came at a great time.
Caelum's locked up in his room. Gwen's been put to sleep by the house's security system.
And Arjhan, what did you ask?
Can this keep back a god?
A god.
Gideon believes so.
Okay, it's good enough, I suppose. Please inform Caelum that he is scaring us. And I guess I'll go get Gwen.
Okay. And Arjhan, when you go up the stairs, you see that Gwen is snoring rather loudly and looks like they have just kind of fallen down onto the ground in front of Caelum's room. And Caelum, as you are beginning to trance, you hear a, "Resident Caelum, I have been requested to tell you that you are scaring the other residents."
Gideon, I'm leaving a note with you. If I'm not awake by the time they come and check on me and the administrative settings have passed, tell them I'm sorry. I've gone to find Nightfeather. If we're in the Feywild by the time I wake up, I'll apologize to them then.
Note received. Would you like for me
Thank
to
you.
deliver them this note post haste?
Delay it for when one of them enters the room.
Action confirmed.
You were just leaving us a body to be discovered.
A body has been found.
Okay. So Arjhan, you go back downstairs.
No, I wake Gwen up.
Okay.
What happened? Caelum okay? Can you come out of his room?
Nope.
The fuck just happened?
I guess she got put to sleep.
Did the house put me to sleep?
Yes, the
Confirmed.
house put you to sleep.
Oh, this bitch is going down. And Gwen pulls out her axe.
Gwen, please do not destroy the house. That is one of the few things that has a chance of keeping the Raven Queen from getting to Caelum.
But the door?
Yes. If it is one of the few things that has the chance of keeping the Raven Queen from getting to Caelum, it is.
Hey, Grayskull.
What's up?
Can I manifest you on the other side of this door?
I think you have to see where you're manifesting things. Can you see through walls?
No. Arjhan, do you have anything that can make me see through walls? For two reasons, but right now this one's important.
No.
Fuck.
I'm gonna try and look under the door.
Yes. A security system that can keep the gods out, but can't keep out a spider.
Yeah, Gwen, as you look under this door, make a perception check.
Okie dokie. Perception. How's a 7 looking?
There is a deep darkness beneath the lip of this door that seems to extend ad infinitum, and you see two small gleaming red eyes stare back at you from beneath this door.
Fuck.
Gideon?
The eyes narrow.
Is this another security measure?
Attacking the door is strongly disadvised. Security measures are in place for the next 8 minutes.
That said, if you could take down the door, you would prove yourself stronger than the gods.
Is Arjhan egging her on right now? Because she will take the bait.
Why?
Because I haven't done fuck all this episode.
Oh my god, Arjhan, why?
Gwen's gonna attack the door. Oh
I ruined everything. I'm trying to mute myself. I'm sorry.
You're Arjhan now.
Hold
it's
on,
your
I'm
fault.
Arjhan. Don't do it, Gwen. Don't
No.
break down that door. It's a bad idea.
Seriously, don't.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Well, who can open this door? Do we have to go get that fucking hag again?
Nope. We wait 8 minutes.
Gwen's one weakness.
Waiting.
Delayed gratification.
Did we get to the Goliath camp?
You guys are on a hillside very close to the Goliath camp. It doesn't take long to transition with Gideon.
Cool. All right. Tell me the second the door opens.
And Gwen's gonna run downstairs, wake Cybra up. Cybra! Do you want to go for a run?
Oh, Cybra is now immediately awake on all fours and seems very excited.
Gwen mounts Cybra and takes off out the door to go let the Goliath camp know, 1, she's here, 2, she'll be right back, and 3, that house is cool. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Cori's like poring over the map again, and she's going to say, Gwen, wait. Where are you going?
I was gonna make sure that the Goliaths don't come attack us.
Okay, do that, but come back immediately. We might have to move the house again.
Well, if we have to move the house again, then I shouldn't go down there because they're all gonna want to talk to me because I'm their fucking chief.
You can do this multiple times. This is amazing.
Potter Eye, sit down.
Gladly.
And shut up.
Cori is going to set the house to move to another location. Can I set it to move just to a random location in Alira every 12 hours?
You cannot. It has to be somewhere with which you are familiar.
With which we are familiar.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to tell it to go to a different location that we have already put in the presets every 24 hours.
Okay, and just for our reminders, the presets are Green Reach, the Bean Leg, Makoth with Arjhan Scale. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter. It is September, by the way, so any subs that you give towards the channel support us more and not Jeff Bezos.
Yay.
So Makoth's Place, the Grove of the Hermit, the Tribe, Farron's Grave, Cori's House in the Feywild, Arath's House, the Dragon Forge, and we also had Marysville Mines, but that's 9, and you guys only had 8. So which one of those are not considered a familial place with which you would like to have it set?
We had replaced the Marysville Mines with Silk Creek.
Okay, that is still 9-ish. So which one of the previous ones weren't actually included?
Another raid!
Open for adventure, thank you for the raid! Blah, 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 blah.
Sorry. Okay.
Get rid of my cough.
Okay, that's what I figured.
No, she broke up with me.
You broke up with me.
Delete contact from phone. Where is the closest place to the Gilskari?
That would actually be Caelum's spell tower. Down in the
Really?
south. Yep.
Temple of Saloon.
Thematically appropriate. I'm going to make that the first one.
Okay.
And then everything else is just on a randomized. Put it on a table and get ready to roll, baby.
Question.
Every 24 hours
Yes.
at midnight.
The Temple of Saloon.
Yeah.
That's the closest point that we have to the forest of the Gilskari, right?
Yep.
Food for thought.
All right, so Gwen, you are still going out to meet with your Goliath companions.
Yes. Are we staying here? Are you saying we're staying here for 24 hours?
It depends whether or not Gwen wants to be here for 24 hours. No, actually, time is of the essence. We're leaving now. Sorry, Gwen.
All right. She like looks out the window, puts her hands up on it. I wanted to see the babies. It's fine. Let's go.
I would like to see the babies.
Okay.
You'll see them again soon, Gwen.
I haven't seen them yet.
I'm sorry, whenever Cori is like talking to people and like also poking around on this map, I get real Star Trek vibes.
Little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Set phases to fun, Miss Tutsi. Yeah. We go to Caelum's childhood temple.
Okay. You
And that's
vamp
it for
over
me.
there. And Hadorai is like kid at the toy store looking out at this window. Just, this is incredible.
Check in with me again at midnight. Otherwise, I have nothing else to do today.
Okay, well, you say that.
Oh.
But the 10 minutes goes by, from with which Caelum has been trapped in his room, and the doors open, and you all, including Hadorai, receive this message, because Caelum just said tell the others that he is attempting to find Nightfeather on his own.
I would like to think that from a perspective from inside of Caelum's room, we just get a glance at the door. And in the very next frame, it is completely open with a black dragon hand just off to the side, and Arjhan like cowering down, like looking menacingly into the room. What does he see?
He sees Caelum, make an Arcana check.
27.
You see that Caelum is currently passed out, asleep somehow, like face onto his desk, arms up, with his tome, with his spell book resting, giving him a soft pillow. Other than that, it's just Caelum's room.
Gwen comes running back up the stairs.
What is it? Is he taking a fucking nap?
Well, he's asleep, yes.
What was that message? What did it even mean?
He may be doing something subconsciously. Or
See,
unconsciously.
so he's going to... Okay. He's going to try to talk to Nightfeather. Does he not remember that I have a whole person who can speak with the dead? I have a tribe of people who bring people back from the dead to fight.
Don't they need their body first to do that?
Yes, but they can do other things. I'm just saying. This is a thing.
Or Cori says, walking into the room.
I'm gonna go make sure he's alive.
He's not.
He's a lich!
Oh, right.
Oh my god, he doesn't. You guys, he doesn't have a pulse. He doesn't have a pulse.
We know.
That's normal, Gwen. He hasn't had a pulse since we got him back.
That's right, sorry, I forgot.
So, Caelum.
Has Hoterai showed up yet to start poking at him?
Hadorai hears all of your conversation. Do you say out loud, he doesn't have a pulse, he's a lich?
Yeah.
You just hear a, wow! Like, Hadorai is so down for everything you guys are saying. You have, like, threatened him at crossbow point to keep quiet. He's having a really hard time with it when you all keep just saying the most
Hey,
ostentatious, ridiculous things.
I did not threaten him with a crossbow this episode.
Not this episode.
Last time he was insane, okay? He didn't know what he was doing.
So,
I'm not saying I still won't do it, but I didn't threaten him with it this episode.
So at this point, Hadorai is just like sticking around to you guys. This is the most fun as a researcher that he has had in a long time, because you are just throwing new shit at him all the time. He can't keep notes fast enough. He's loving it. Caelum.
Hoterai, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Caelum,
Yeah.
you sleepy?
Yes.
Okay. So you have appeared on the plateau. There is the library in front of you. What is the plan?
Is it still the elemental royal around him?
It is.
He's going to attempt to make some doors into memory.
Okay, make an Arcana check.
This one. 19.
Okay. So with a 19, you manage to make what looks like the semblance of a doorway, but it doesn't look stable. And where are you making these doorways to? Oh! Deej, thank you! Thank you for the biddies!
Deej? He wants to try and do what he did with Tarlayan, go a layer deeper
But into yourself.
into himself.
Okay. So with a 19, again, there is a doorway. Doorway does not look stable.
Is there any way to shore it up if I use up an overcharge, spend some lives? Spend some years?
Make another Arcana check.
Hey! 23.
All right, cool. Roll me a d6.
6.
Caelum ages 6 years. But the door does look better.
Now or never. And he'll open the door.
And you see before you, there is what looks like the Elemental Royal. above you. But looking directly into this, it looks like a mad series of etchings in oils and acrylics that are constantly being splattered and then stripped away. This area doesn't look like it has any kind of center of gravity. It just looks like open area.
He puts a hand to his chest and casts Fly on himself before stepping in.
Okay. So, as you step in with your fly, the door takes concentration.
Oh, the door takes concentration. Okay, I'll just step in then.
Okay. And you step in and you feel something solid beneath your foot. And you look down and it doesn't look like there is any actual walkway beneath you. It is just, you are able to stand here.
He'll call for Nightfeather.
Your voice rings out, but it sounds like it is like when you are two of the like click signals off of finding the right radio station. Like it just sounds very heavily distorted and staticky as it exits your mouth, and I need you to make a Constitution save.
16?
All right. So, Caelum, while you are in this place, it is cold here. It is so cold. Like every possible moment is being stripped of heat and put elsewhere. You're going to be taking some cold damage just from being in this place. So let's find out together how much it is.
Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together.
You're going to be taking 62 points of cold damage.
Fuck! Nope. Caelum makes his way back out the door.
Okay. And as the door shuts, you see that it almost folds in on itself. And the rest of you, who are still awake, see Caelum get a little sallowed, like his cheeks become a little bit like saggier. His hair has like a slight bit of gray that is starting to pop into it. That just seems like he like, even though elves age slowly, this seems like there was something that just happened to him, that he looks a little bit older. And then you see his body twitch, like a violent, like not a seizure necessarily, because it's not a continuous thing, but he, like his back arches and then just rests again. And you see that there is blood coming out of his nose.
Oh my god. Guys. Cori, heal him.
She'll take a few steps forward and put a hand on him. She'll cast Protection from Good and Evil.
Okay.
It's about as much as she can do for him. And she'll say, he's on his own.
Shouldn't we wake him up?
Harurai is shaking his head no.
But look, he's getting hurt. Why does this boy do this? Literally, the only time he almost dies is when I'm not right the fuck there.
Cori will just like look at Gwen for a second, lean in and say, Caelum, come back to us.
And Caelum. You have gone back to the platform.
He's going to pump 2 5th level cure wounds into himself.
Okay.
One more time. He's gonna try it.
Okay, make another Arcana check to recreate the door.
Natural 20 for a 27.
The door is there! It looks stable AF! And when you open it and look inside, you see that it is just this chaotic swirling of energy. It's like being inside of an Aha music video.
Oh no, icky. He'll shout for Nightfeather again from the door.
There's no response.
If he keeps the door open and sits at the threshold and... long shot. He's gonna try and meditate and calm himself down.
Okay. So you're attempting to meditate while you were within your sleep?
It's like breathing meditations, just like steady the mind. If this is a look into his psyche, like inside of himself, if it's chaotic, maybe if he just centers himself, it might stabilize.
And you just have the door open?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate to metagame this, but can we tell that he's taking cold damage?
You do not. It just looks like psychic to the rest of you.
Okay.
So, Caelum, as you are staring into this doorway, as you are attempting to meditate and calm yourself with breathing, you do see a figure that begins to manifest itself. And it is much larger than a humanoid. And you see that it has these large curled horns that sort of circle downward, and a more bovine face as it begins to make its way towards the opening of this door. And it raises a long clawed hand out and levels a finger towards you. It seems to see you.
But I can see it.
Yep.
As well. Nightfeather took some precautions in keeping you locked up, and I'm not the one to break them, and he's gonna roll away and slam the door shut.
Okay. And the door disappears.
Wait a minute. He'll wake himself up.
Okay. Cori, is your hand on your friend saying, Caelum, come back to us. Your friend stirs. Caelum, you can taste a little bit of iron in your mouth. And there's a little bit of wetness on your face that's kind of running down onto your cheek.
Caelum! The fuck happened?
He will wipe the blood away from his mouth. Is Hadarai in the room?
Yeah.
I thought you said Nightfeather locked away whatever was chasing him in the book.
He just nods and then, looks like he wants to say something, looks at Gwen, and then just
Speak.
Go ahead.
Yes. He did.
Then what the fuck is a Nightwalker doing inside my psyche?
I have no idea. I don't know what you were doing. I don't know how you were doing it. I have absolutely zero information on this. If you wanted to explain more other than just waking up and then yelling at me, the only reasonable, sane person amongst you all.
You want to say that again?
No.
Didn't think so.
Caelum, what were you trying to do?
Everyone get out. Except for you.
Haterai is
Haterai.
already like,
Cori hesitates, and then she heads for the door, but before leaving, she says, if Night Feather locked him away, then perhaps what you saw was a memory. And then she leaves.
Arjhan looks like he is going to be defiant and stay. But as soon as Cori says that, he gets really concerned and goes after her.
Gwen does not move.
Gideon, eject Gwen.
Gideon, you fucking touch me, I will burn this place to the ground.
No, you won't.
Override
Caelum-
room owner privacy.
Caelum, you can't just lock us out. This is bullshit.
when you say override room privacy for ownership, Haterai is also being ejected as privacy mode again. It's for just you.
Room owner.
Yeah. So Haterai and Gwen are both booped out of the room. Door shuts. This is the most fascinating house. Did you find it? Did it come out of like an egg or something?
The door opens, an arm from the darkness reaches out and grabs Haterai by the collar and yanks him in, and then the door shuts.
Can I force my way in, please?
Make a strength check while the door's open.
Okay. 17.
Caelum, make a strength check to keep the door closed. You also have a man that you're dragging into the darkness with you.
Would it be a natural 20? For a 21.
She's like trying to dart in like a pet, so it's like just a quick like leg in the doorway.
And in that moment, Caelum's shirt comes off, and we see all of his muscles.
It just
I mean-
explodes off his body.
Disheveled Caelum.
Well, that's rather forward. I'm going to let you know you're really not my type.
Not helping.
So I've been told before.
When I trance, I go to a plateau of sorts. There is a library of saloon, and from what I can understand, it is a dream space. It is by saloon's permission that I can enter.
Fascinating. Can you bring others with you?
I've tried that before, and I was able to bring Cori with me, and we were attacked by the Raven Queen on the plateau. So, from my understanding, the plateau is mine,
Outstanding.
but the temple is hers.
Fantastic. Continue.
I have messed around a bit on this plateau, and you need to learn a little bit of something about me. The person who raised me was a bit fucked up, and they forced an elf to sleep.
Now, I've heard of that happening before, but usually it's like the elves just sleep in general. I mean, I took quite a long nap, but I don't think it's really the same caliber.
There's a difference between trancing and sleeping, but that's beside the point. One of my experiments was to see if I could enter a room that was provided to me by some magical fuck-off order. And I was able to, and slide between trancing and sleeping. So I thought to myself, hey, maybe, well, I've attempted this before, try and go a step deeper. I did so, and I saw that cow book, except it wasn't a book. It was full cow man, pointing at me,
Oh, yes.
in utter chaos.
Well, that checks out.
Pray tell how.
So you're going into yourself. Have you ever gone... Your friend said maybe it was one of your memories. Have you ever gone anywhere new that is outside of your memories.
Well, once.
Which was as a result of?
Trancing inside the heart of a dragon. Subconsciously.
Which dragon? Was it the obsidian
No.
one? You all mentioned that you had a connection with the tyrant before.
You can extrapolate. I'm not gonna say his name without conferring with Arjhan.
Tarlaine, got it. Okay. Noted. But that was a new place that you went to, or was that more memories? I'm still having a difficult time following along.
I'm having a difficult time following along. And it's happening to me.
So, you went and saw Realm of Chaos. What did it look like?
Do you know the artist Jackson Pollock?
No, not familiar. Not too big of an art person myself.
If privacy wasn't on, Gwen would just hear the smashing of bottles. And Caelum holds up a piece of parchment that's been smattered with different inks. Kind of like this, except I took a lot of damage.
What kind?
I felt cold.
That would do it. If that was the case, then you would have been... Well, you would have been there. You would have been at the place. Negative energy. Potential energy. That's
So
potential. And he says, pointing to the smattering of colors. It just needs something to give it shape, but that is potential. The difficult part about it is that when you are in that place and you attempt to give something out of the state of being potential, it actually goes against the laws of that place. That's why there are a lot of precautions when you go from place to place to place to place. You always need to make sure that you have the right gear, the right protection. Potential energy is cold because it is energy waiting to awaken. Nightfeather prepared for his journey, not just by locking away his hunter. Magic spells. Items of protection. He did not go unknowing.
So hopefully I went through a memory and not into the actual plane of negative energy, because that would mean that there's something hunting me now. Yippee.
I'm sorry, I know it's dangerous, but I can't help but smiling at this moment. This is just simply incredible. You and your friends, really.
We get up to some shit. Okay.
A whole book about you.
I can't access that memory without proper precautions, then the door I open up is... It requires everything to keep it open. If I were to shut from the inside, I'd be trapped.
Then maybe best not do that. If you
Spell.
are trapped inside yourself, then that's a psychosis and a different problem altogether. It needs to be more than just precautions. You need to be actively ready to go to that place. If you're going inside yourself, why were you going inside yourself again? You said something
see
about
if I
trying
can-
to find Nightfeather?
If the memories of elves are within themselves, what is to say that Shatterkai memories are not within themselves but locked away?
Interesting theory.
Theory proven, given that I've accessed the memories of the negative plane.
Which would mean that there may be other memories still inside you, memories that we just need to open. Very interesting.
this is going to be a problem.
I should say so. Your friends seem rightly mad that you forced them out of your room.
I've calmed down a little bit more. I'm sorry, I had a moment.
Also, I have a question. If you're a lich, how do you sleep? They told me the whole thing about that, but like, how does it work?
You know, that's really something I haven't fully explored. It's just like trancing.
Next time you do it, do you mind if I like just watch, take some notes?
Sorry, Haterai, but you're not my type. And he'll walk out the door.
Well, that's awfully rude. So, Cori, you are walking off from this door.
Mm-hmm.
Arjhan has then proceeded to, like, looks like he was about to say something, then saw you leave and is following after.
Okay.
Or at least that's how I read.
Is Arjhan following Cori, or?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think she necessarily like just completely left and didn't engage with Arjhan or Gwen. It was more she stepped outside the door and then just kind of stood there for a sec. So the three of them can be there together.
Well, there goes my memories stolen by Raven's theory.
I don't think we know exactly what's going on. This is all very confusing. But Caelum is very smart and very wise, and he's going to figure it out.
Are we absolutely sure? That whatever the Queen's motivation is for something nefarious.
Can't be. I don't know if it's necessarily nefarious or even ill-willed. I think she just wants Caelum back because she thinks that's where he belongs. Misguided, probably. What we want, absolutely not. I want to be able to help her. I don't think I'm strong enough to yet. I will get there. She's suffering.
Who would know how to restore a fractured god?
Perhaps only the gods themselves. Otherwise, we may be...
Shit, I have a fractured god.
Fractured or intentionally divided?
Well, fractured but whole.
Oh shit, the Fae! Does he actually say this?
Yes.
That's... Well, perhaps we should all be consulting our sources here. Would you be willing to ask Tiamat if she has any ideas?
I'll ask her.
All right.
I've been asking her. Well, I've been trying to talk to her for a while now. I don't think she's very receptive at the moment.
More and more, I'm learning that the gods are not as useful as they would like us to believe. In the meantime, we'll protect Caelum, and I will work out this winter thing. Is Gwen just standing there staring at Caelum's door, sulking?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's like tapping her foot.
She's going to kneel next to Gwen. Can you watch Caelum? I mean, I know that he's not going to let you in for a while, but make sure nothing comes for him.
I can try.
Thank you, Gwen. she will hug her, just like arm around the seething halfling.
You ever hugged an angry person before?
Yeah, they're
Feels
so
weird, man.
they're so angry. But Cori hugs her. She'll stand up, just kind of look at the two of them. Put her hand on her hip. And she's like, "It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this." And giving her friends a smile, she will retreat to her room.
As Cori's door shuts, Caelum's door flies open.
Gwen jumps on Caelum.
Like an angry ferret just flying through the air.
You ever seen a leopard pounce on something where its tail is like doing the wild thing in the back to maintain
Oh,
balance?
so you mean like Khajiit death animation in Skyrim where it's just...
Yep.
For all you audiocast listeners,
Now-
I wave my arm around.
Now I'm just thinking of freaking Tails, the fox.
The fox.
My mental image is that one video of the raccoon flying at the other guy just...
So, Gwen, you jump through the room, tackling Caelum. As you do, Hadorai just, like, takes a step back into a shadow and then reappears from a shadow out in the hallway. Just, I don't want to be anywhere near whatever that is.
What the fuck, Caelum?
I was upset.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna apologize because I'm allowed to have emotions.
Uh-huh.
Caelum will try to stand, but like hold Gwen so she's still not on him.
No, she's not gonna let him stand.
You don't get to pull this bullshit, Caelum. You can be upset, but you don't get to lock us out.
I needed time to think and calm myself.
Yeah, then you need to fucking tell us that and not just do something without us knowing what the hell you're doing. Leaving a stupid fucking message with the house so that I'll be all mysterious and bullshit. And then what, almost dying in your own subconscious? Like, hey, would be nice to know these things.
Team meeting.
It's a bit late, Caelum.
She stands up and walks into her room.
Cori, you went into your room. Were you doing anything in particular?
Yeah. When she walks into her room, it's Oliviette's cabin. She'll walk in and sit at Oliviette's desk, just kind of run her hands over the grain of the wood. And she will get out some parchment and start writing a note.
Okay. As you are writing this letter to Oliviette, you actually receive a message through your sending stone to Oliviette.
What a coincidence.
And she is letting you know that they were able to stop the Sahuagin, not without casualty. Everything is fine. She is safe and loves you dearly.
She smiles. In as few words as possible. I know that I've been like playing loose with these sendings, but I'm trying to like keep it succinct from a viewer standpoint, as succinctly as possible. She'll let's see if I can actually do it. I'm glad you're safe. Things are complicated here. Finding my final season. Is more difficult than anticipated. I'll keep you posted. And I love you.
Okay.
And then she writes a very different note to Oliviette.
Sounds good. So, Caelum, you have called for a team meeting. Currently, it is just Arjhan, and when you say team meeting, Hadorai points at himself.
No.
Maybe. There might be some gaps I need filled in.
Such as?
The nature of some of the elemental planes, I don't know. General knowledge, I went in there a bit blind.
Okay.
You're in your room.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
was gonna say, like, Cori-
I thought we were doing a team meeting. Is Cori there? No?
You didn't even hear him yell out team meeting. You're
I'm
writing a
sorry.
note to your girlfriend.
I'm sorry. It's got flips and loops and curls. It's very pretty.
Well, I'll fill in everyone else later. I'll fill Arjhan in on what I was doing, what happened.
Which was?
Oh, he tried to deep dive into his own subconscious to find Nightfeather. The verbiage of the goddesses has me concerned. They said find Nightfeather, not, like, contact him.
Well, you wouldn't be able to contact him because, well, you're... If he died, then that would be you.
What if he didn't die? What if he found a way to... Would projecting your soul into something else count as you dying, or your soul being...
I think it would be... Now, just hear me out on this. If the body dies, but the body was the one that had the soul in it, and your soul's able to live on, you're a ghost. Like a specter of sorts.
Would I know of spells like Magic Jar?
Make an Arcana check.
22.
You would have heard of magics capable of doing this, but mostly in story.
There are legends of people being able to project their souls into inanimate objects and then imposing their will on some poor bastard by imposing their soul in their body, swapping places.
Like that Mummers play, Freaky Friday.
Actually, yeah, kind of. If Nightfeather had found a way, as a precaution, instead of his soul being obliterated to be sent wherever.
Possibly.
Find Nightfeather, not speak with Nightfeather. Am I getting too hung up on the wordage?
Again, possibly. Another thought. You're Nightfeather reincarnated, right? Which means you share a soul. Is that how it works?
Akin to it, it's a past life.
In either case, where is your soul?
In your bag of holding.
Interesting.
Wait, what?
The doll. Linar and Discovery tore my soul out of my body and put it in a doll.
That's how you became a lich.
So
That was the point of us going back to the tower and finding it. I thought
did you ever explicitly tell Arjhan that?
Yes. He said my soul is trapped inside of that doll and we need to go find it.
Okay. Do you think possibly having this would give you a better connection to Nightfeather?
If I tranced with it in my lap tonight, maybe. I'm certainly not going to reproduce that experiment again for a long time to come.
Certainly not without telling us first.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. What was your theory?
My theory is that since elves have past lives and they are linked to their elven form, like Coriander and her past lives, why not Shatter Kai? Except they're locked away by the Raven Queen. If I had found a way to access that part of my memories, Nightfeather's memories, that are part of my past life, I could find something. A method to all this madness. I know from what Cori has told me, when she used to trance, she would reflect on her past lives. So it would basically be the same thing, minus the soul-rending nightmare.
Okay.
The plane of negative energy is not what I thought it would look like. It's a lot more colorful.
Is it really? Excellent. All right. So, what's your future plan in regards to this? Is there anything that I can help out with? I don't really honestly know much about the planes other than, well, plane of negative energy. That's more of my focus in following the night feather trail. String.
Find out what we need to prepare.
Do I just live in your house now? I don't know where we are.
Meanwhile, Cori is telling Gideon to set up a guest room for Haterai.
Think of it as an extended vacation away from the Hermitage.
A sabbatical for research.
Sabbatical for research. I can compensate you in research material funding if you need it.
Oh, no. Compensation, honestly, has just been overhearing your group for the last, well, day. A little bit longer now at this
Glad
point.
we're nothing if not amusing.
It's fascinating. Amusing is not even the right word.
Arjhan looks like he's about to say something and then thinks better of it. You see just the tiniest drop of blood.
Arjhan, I'm gonna need that doll tonight.
He hands the bag of holding, like he holds it out for you to grab from it.
I'll pull the soul doll out from it.
Okay. And as you stare down at this doll of yourself that houses your lich's soul, Gwen is in her room, Cori is in her room writing a sad note, and that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. We got rated twice. That was super cool. Thank you, Open for Adventure and Word Fangirl. We're glad that hopefully you guys enjoyed what you ended up seeing here. It's a good time. Speaking of good times, hey RJ, where can we find you?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I can't talk like that. You can catch me at RJustice 282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. And tonight I'll be streaming Rainbow Six Siege after Nights in the Courtyard with Matt and Ryan. It's a good time. You can catch me here on Mondays. And our homebrew campaign is Caelum, Shatterhide Cleric, but of course you knew that. On Sundays, you can catch me in our Tomb of Annihilation game as Wally, the Shifter Barbarian Fighter. Sunday mornings, catch me over at the Hype Goblins as I play Titus Valentine, a Warlock Ranger human who's also a noble trying to find his brothers. And on Thursday over at G Game Nights, where I play Theo, Wilmont who's just trying to marry his girl. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. Tomorrow I will be streaming at 2 o'clock, probably, some Mass Effect. I did it last week, so hey, let's see if I can do it 2 weeks in a row. Other than that, you can find me on my channel on Thursday nights doing Thursday Night Terrors with Lauren, aka Run Reckless, where I get super spooked and Lauren laughs at me. It's a good time. Yeah. Just check out my Twitter for all my other stuff because I do a lot of things. Yeah.
Hoi! I'm Cyber. You can find me, most of my stuff at cyberwolf1.live. It's got a Twitter. It's got a Twitch. Twitch is good. You can see me play video games from this room that y'all are seeing for the first time on this stream. We are going to jump into a new game, a new long-term game. As I jump into the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind for my first playthrough of it. So, I'm excited and nervous. We'll see how that goes. We got a YouTube. We got a Patreon. We got a podcast. Let's talk about it, which eventually I'll record again for. And for other stuff, check out Jabroni TV. It's got lots of really cool people. It's got Jabroni Tabletop too. That's also cool. Game Sentiment. I'm here on Mondays. I'm also here on Thursdays. I've run the Tyrant Security game as Arjhan. It's fun. It's cool. Y'all are doing stuff right now. I've totally prepped. And also, High Shelf Gaming Rage Across Seattle is going to happen at some point. Maybe this month. Maybe. We'll see. DanaeKeener.com.
And speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I play as Cori under the Eldrin Paladin on Mondays, and on Sundays I play as Baz the Drow Rogue Fighter during our Doom of Annihilation game. Once again, that was DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can check out on all of our VODs at youtube.com/Indoor Adventures or anywhere audiocasts are made available for free under the same name. But right now, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard. It's just being hosted there. You don't have to be a patron to actually come and listen, but if you are a patron, it helps support the show as well as gives you some cool flair while you're on our Discord, which, again, if you aren't already a part of it, you can join. The link's onto the side, or down below, you can join us in our Questions for the Courts chat, and we will do our best to answer all them questions for ye. But for right now, we are going to be heading off. So once again, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!